So in today's video we are going to be making holographic water drop effects. Let's go! Right, we are back. Got some new molds to play around with. These are from Amazon, of course, and these are holographic pendant molds. I think they're fairly new. If you're in the UK, they're not yet available. I had to ship mine in from the US. So they come in two separate sets. So this set here, I think it's on Amazon as White Sea, and that contains 3 molds, and I think that was, let me check, $14.99. And the other set is 2 molds. We'll open them up and have a look. And this one was, I think it was called White Bee, $11.99. So we're going to put them to the test. I'm going to try something that I've had an idea for since I tried the effect. What's inside? Oh, you get, well, that's not bad. You get some cards, some wrappers. We don't want them at the moment though. You get earring hoops. What are they? Latches. And some chain. And some choker necklaces. But we're not going to be using those. I'm just interested in the molds. So I want to try something that shouldn't really be done with holographic molds. But you know what I'm like. I'm a bit of a rebel. So these actually look really impressive. I really like the holographic design on these as well. So lots of things can be done with these anyway. So in the larger set, the 3-pack set, you get larger pendants. And you get only one of the smaller ones, which is the same as the twin set. And there we have those. Really, really cool. Right. Always keep your plastic bags to put your molds back inside, keeps them clean. So we're going to have a little play around with these 3. These are the same, obviously. So I'm going to be using some of the Resin mica powders, and they say not to do this. So if you do try this, it's at your own risk, and that is brushing mica onto holographic molds. Now, the idea come about from the raindrop effect. So I wanted to try this with holographics and see if we can just have the raindrops so they are the holographic parts of our pieces, but the rest, what will happen is that when you brush the mica powder on, it will cancel out the holographic design, because they've got tiny like how can I explain holographic designs? They're like etched or lasered, or I mean they're basically the silicone is poured onto like laser etched designs, and this mimics it. So then when we pour our resin in, that mimics the design that's inside. So what you'll find as well is that you can't kind of dome these or top coat them, because that will also cancel out the tiny minute details that are actually embedded into the silicone. So by brushing mica on, we're at risk of possibly ruining the molds. I mean, I have done this before and I haven't ruined a mold yet. But you're also cancelling out those small details. But for the purpose of the video, I'm gonna do it and just have a little play around with it. So, as mentioned in my previous video where I did the fossil, these needle tip bottles of UV are absolutely brilliant. So if you just pour in your UV resin really quickly, away from any light so it doesn't cure through the bottle, just pour in a small amount, and then use black tape, whatever you want. I've just got that old finger from one of my gloves. I just pop the bottle inside, and also store it in a dark place, and it's not gonna go hard inside the bottle. And this is really handy for just drawing in those raindrop effects. So all we're gonna do is just make sure we've got a flow of resin through our needle tip, and then it's up to you. I mean, this is very handy. We just apply the drops, and the good thing again about this is that you can apply tiny drops just by touching the mould. You can really be precise with this, and then you can kind of cure as you go with your mini torch, but just don't shine the torch at the end of the needle tip because that will clog up the end. So we're just going to continue. I won't show the whole lot. Just going to continue adding our drops to the moulds. And even with these really small intricate areas, let me lock my focus. You can get the needle tip in there. Just like that. So I've carried on and I've done one in this oval, and then I've done the two small earrings or pendants, whatever you want them to be. So you can use colour shift mica for this, but I'm just going to go with, or for the leaves anyway, I'm going to go with a dark green mica. So I'm just very carefully just going to dab the mica into the mould. I'm not brushing because I don't want to damage that holographic effect. But you do want to make sure that you don't miss any, because we only want that holographic effect on the water droplets. If you've got any gaps, it won't ruin it. It will just reflect the light off of those normal areas. Normal areas? Clear areas. And with this pendant, I'm just going to go with a dark blue. Again, just dabbing that surface, really not pushing hard at all. So ideally now what you want to do is mix up some 2-part resin and some black mica and just fill these up. But you know how impatient and lazy I am. So I'm just going to do this with a thin layer of black mica in UV resin, just because I'm interested to see how it comes out, and I don't want to be waiting until tomorrow to find out. But it is really important not to go too overboard with the black mica, because the UV light will struggle to penetrate through and cure it properly. So you can see my resin is not solid black. There's still enough, what's the word, translucency for the light to be able to still penetrate through. And I'm not just pouring it on because I just want the resin to fall into the corners, just to prevent more air bubbles. And with this one I can just pour it over because there's not really any small details, and you could just do this in layers. And then we can just switch to our bigger lamp just to cure those through. So I just also want to see what they come out like with just a solid colour. So that's an orchid. So I've just topped them all up. I had enough black to just do a black one as well. So we can now just double make sure that these are cured through by just flipping them over and giving them another couple of minutes on the underside. Okay, we're ready to see the results. As I mentioned, do this with 2-part. And I thought of another way of doing this as well that may work, is that if you use the blank areas of the mould and just apply your drops and cure them and take them out and stick them inside another mould that's not holographic. You could probably spray the the other mould with a release spray and then push down these droplets onto it just to make sure the resin doesn't seep under. Anyway, as always, massive shout out to my channel members. Thank you very much. I wanted to show you these in natural daylight, but it is absolutely tipping it down outside. It's really dull. And as always, massive shout out to anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks. Really, really tricky to see in this light, but you can see that holographic effect. Probably not the best colour to have used. I've turned off my studio light just to see if I can get any natural light through. You can see it's there, but I think the colour has kind of taken away the effect. Let's see what the leaves have come out like. This will be the true test because I really want most of the holographic to be cancelled out. Wow. That really does. Look at that. That really does add a different vibe to the water drop effect. That is really, really cool. And that, see the way the Micas have cancelled out and only left the effect on the water drop. That is absolutely crazy. I love it. So you can see the line. You see the line that goes through the water droplet. I'm pretty sure if you master it, you could apply the water droplet inside the areas so that you're not crossing those lines, so that the colours would shift in a more natural way, if that makes sense. But look at that. I mean, as a set of earrings or even as a pendant on its own in the right light, that would really, really capture some eyes. Love it. It worked. And the mould, let's check the mould. It's still as holographic as it was. So this is the one that we did with just the black, just to see what it would come out like. Not that great, if I'm honest. And that could just be where I'm using UV resin. You can see it in some places, but not all of it, which is a shame. I don't know why that is. Because it's in the mould. There's no reason why it shouldn't have worked. Right, last one. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. And if you haven't subbed, that is so cool. Hit that sub button for me. Did it work on this one? Yes. Look at that. Again, it is only visible on the droplets. I think it would definitely be a lot better to be a bit more precise as to where the droplets are applied, but that is still super cool. So I'm really happy with the results. Right, I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.